Hello! Today we're building a puzzle of a Disney classic, Tangled. My puzzle partner's parents, or my puzzle partners-in-law, joined us for this build. We were gifted this puzzle in a Puzzle Swap Facebook group. We've gotten many puzzles this way. We're so grateful for this group as it allows us to be more environmentally friendly, and it affords the opportunity to meet some pretty cool people. If your city has a puzzle swap group, we highly recommend that you join yours. Just remember to exercise caution during pickups and meet for the exchange in public, well-lit spaces. Tangled is a story about a beautiful princess named Rapunzel who was stolen as a baby and hidden away in a tower by a villager named Gothel. Gothel is keen on keeping Rapunzel secluded as the princess's magical blonde hair has the power to provide Gothel with eternal youth. One day, Flynn Rider, an infamous thief, took refuge in Rapunzel's tower. Growing ever more curious about the outside world, Rapunzel convinced him to take her to the Floating Lights, or a lantern festival that is held annually in remembrance of the king and queen's lost daughter. I won't give the entire movie away, but we highly recommend that you watch Tangled. The visuals are amazing, and it has a solid comedic undertone. Perhaps the best part is that Rapunzel is played by Mandy Moore. Those of us that grew up in the early 2000s know how iconic Mandy Moore is. I love her song Crush and the movie A Walk to Remember, where she starred as the protagonist. This puzzle portrays the Lantern Festival. Taking place on the lake in front of the King and Queen's castle, Rapunzel and Flynn are in a rowboat while hundreds of beautifully lit paper lanterns are released into the sky around them. As Rapunzel sings the song, "I Can See the Light," we know that this is a pivotal moment for her. The song emphasizes themes of self-discovery, love, freedom, and the transformative power of human connection. Lyrically and physically with the paper lanterns, light serves as a powerful symbol of enlightenment, love, and the end of isolation. In Tangled, Rapunzel has a sidekick named Pascal. Pascal is Rapunzel's pet chameleon who lives with her in the tower. Pascal has the ability to change colors as a means of camouflage as well as expression. He has a feisty personality and acts as Rapunzel's confidant and self-appointed protector. I distinctly remember the Halloween after Tangled was released because my sister, who starred in our last video, wanted to dress up as Rapunzel. Her newly adopted kitten would have made the best Pascal. Thankfully, she decided against dyeing her white cat green. All jokes aside, let's get into this puzzle specs. When complete, this 750-piece puzzle will measure 24 inches in width and 18 inches in height. We were excited that this puzzle was wider than it was tall because it meant it would fit on our puzzle table. Going into the build, we knew this puzzle was going to be challenging, mainly due to the vast areas of rock and sky that were very similar in color, with nearly indistinguishable shades of gray and purple. Surprise, surprise! We started with the border. We then worked on a few landmarks that this puzzle has, including Flynn, Rapunzel, and Pascal in a rowboat, the horse whose name is Maximus, and the larger lanterns. We absolutely crushed these sections, and then it was all downhill from there. Apparently, I like pain, as once the landmarks were established, I switched to the rocky landscape at the bottom of the puzzle. Without exaggerating, this took me a very long time. Luckily, my puzzle partner really put this build on his back, completing large sections of this puzzle. I admire his perseverance and determination. Our tip for this puzzle is to take breaks when you need them, and to take advantage of the unique piece shapes. These distinct piece components will help you find and place pieces when the image is less helpful. This puzzle took us about 6 hours, which is the most time out of all puzzles that we have posted on this channel, despite not having the highest piece count. Overall, we give this puzzle an 8.03 out of 10 for puzzability. The following contributed to this overall rating. We gave a 7.9 out of 10 for setup. Although it was a simple box dump, this is not a fresh out-of-the-box puzzle, and it still had a decent amount of puzzle dust. We gave an 8.2 out of 10 for design. We thought that the movie scene was translated well, especially in the small details with Gothel and her henchmen plotting on the side. However, it was really difficult to tell the different sections apart. We would have preferred more variations in their color palette. We gave an 8 out of 10 for piece fit. The pieces snapped into place, and the unique shapes helped guide us through the build when we couldn't rely on the image. In closing thoughts, this is a more challenging puzzle that isn't necessarily accessible for all puzzlers due to any deficiency in color vision. However, don't let this discourage you. We still think it's worth building. If you try this puzzle, we'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd also love to know what other puzzles you're working on and which ones we should try next. Happy puzzling!